Hey YouTube, hope you're all well. Today we're going to be looking at this, the new Motorola Moto G 4th generation. Released in May 2016, Motorola's latest offering to the G family features a slightly larger screen and much higher pixel density than its previous generation, as well as vast upgrades to the CPU, GPU and a slightly larger battery, which is always welcome. Taking a look at the back of the box, we can see a few specs of the device, including info about its 5.5-inch 1080p screen, its 8-core processor, 16GB of storage with 2GB of memory, as well as its 4G LTE connectivity, its 13 and 5MP cameras, and its 3000 mAh battery. My Moto G here is on contract, so what you receive in the box may differ between carriers. But first, we have the phone itself sitting front and centre. Underneath, we have a quick guide to installing Nano or micro SIM cards into the G4. This is followed by a simple quick start guide to get you up and started on the device, containing information on both the hardware and software of the phone. Next up, we have our Tesco Mobile Top-Up Card, useful while on pay as you go, but we won't be needing that as we're on contract. The only other piece of literature that we have is a small safety and legal document. Unfortunately, the Moto G doesn't come with a pair of free headphones, like more premium handsets. However, you do get a power adapter with a nice long 2-meter cable. The 4th generation is still using micro USB rather than the newer USB Type-C port. However, the cable is fixed into the transformer that is supplied with the device. With the unboxing out the way, let's take a look at the device itself. The first thing you notice is that the design is stunning. Motorola have certainly come a long way in terms of design. The Moto G4 looks and feels like a premium product. I love the grey fillet exterior and the textured back and overall simplicity of the design. It is also insanely thin at 1cm thick at its thickest point. At the bottom of the phone, we can see our micro USB port for charging. One side is blank, while the other side features the volume rocker and our power unlock button that has a texture to it so that you always know which button you've got your finger on. A nice feature. The top of the device is also simplistic, featuring only a 3.5mm headphone jack. The rear of the phone has a textured feel to it, making it easier to grip and hold such a large device. We have a small tablet-shaped bump at the top for our 30MP shooter and dual-tone flash. The front face of the device is dominated by its glorious 5.5-inch screen. Here you can see the phone in full daylight, and there's quite a bit of glare on the screen. However, text is still legible and the phone is usable. However, indoors or even in a small area of shadow, you can really appreciate what a crisp, nice screen this is. Not only is it bright, but the high pixel density of 401 ppi makes text look super crispy and images are extremely vivid. Also notice how small the bezel is around the screen, adding to that large phone experience. The phone itself is really responsive. Apps open quickly with minimum lag, and all the features of Android 6.0 Marshmallow work great and really complement the hardware. As you would expect from a near stock Android experience, the UI is colourful and very intuitive to work with. The latest version of the notification system is sublime, and the quick access to settings is really useful. As standard, we only have one Motorola app, and with Google simplifying and condensing some of their apps too, the user experience is streamlined and easy to set up. The stock Google apps, of course, include Messenger, Calendar, Gmail, Google Drive, Hangouts, Photos, Play Music and more, including Google Now. Meanwhile, the Play Store gives you usual access to the million-plus third-party apps like Amazon Prime Music, Facebook and Twitter. The camera app really complements the phone's 30MP rear shooter and 5MP front-facing camera. As you can see here, images are sharp and vivid with the f2.0 rear camera with features such as autofocus, auto HDR, panorama and 4x digital zoom. As you saw earlier, the camera also features a colour balancing dual LED flash that is really quite bright. The rear camera is also capable of up to 1080p video footage at 30 frames per second with video stabilisation. There is also an option for slow motion video capture. Selfies with the Moto G4 look great thanks to its wide angle lens and f2.2 aperture. There is also a professional mode where you can access more features, great for the budding photographer. For a low to mid-range device, the Motorola has great specs. Coming in at only 155 grams, the phone packs an octa-core processor, 2GB of RAM, 16GB of internal storage with support for a micro SD card, and 3000 mAh battery that will easily last you all day. The third generation Moto G featured IPX7 water resistant certification, and that's something we're disappointed not to see on the latest revision of the phone. Instead, we have a water repellent nano coating to try and deflect those water drops. We do have 4G connectivity, both 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi connection, as well as GPS, accelerometer, gyroscope and an ambient light sensor to automatically adjust the brightness of the screen. I decided to use Geekbench 3 to put the phone through its paces and see how it stacks up against its competitors. As you can see, we had a single core score of 708, which is respectable but nothing to shout about. This placed it between the Moto X and LG Nexus 5. However, thanks to its 8 cores of processing power, multi-core performance was much improved with a score of 3020, placing it much higher up the leaderboard, just ahead of the Motorola Nexus 6. This makes the phone perfect for those who want snappy performance or just want to play the most demanding of games. I think my favourite feature of the Moto G4 is the use of integration with movement that takes this device to the next level. For example, when pulling your phone out of your pocket, the screen automatically comes to life without pressing any buttons, giving you a glance at the time and notifications. Other gestures include twisting the device twice to launch the camera app, and a double karate chop to turn on the LED flashlight, always useful in a hurry. Overall, the Motorola Moto G 4th generation is a great purchase and I thoroughly recommend it. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.